A very good morning, everyone, wherever you are tuned in on this call. Thanks for tuning in. It's yet a wonderful and beautiful Thursday of 28th of October. I welcome you once again. I'm exceedingly humbled and profoundly honored for having been given this maiden chance to share this session. My name is Kakinda Adrian, your moderator this morning for yet this wonderful webinar, whereby we want to talk to the students, we want to talk to the people in academia, especially when we are preparing to reopen institutions of learning. So in that regard, I welcome you for those who kept time from 10 a.m. as we keep on waiting for other people to connect. We are quite live on this Zoom platform, and then some people are catching us via YouTube, and the link has been shared to various people. I do think those who get issues in using the Zoom application, they will be sorted when it comes to the YouTube link. So that's how we are going to move up to midday. And I also greet for those who are watching us from the diaspora, for those who are watching us from Africa, Eastern Central Africa, and other institutions of higher learning. I welcome you humbly to yet this edition of the webinar. This webinar is proudly brought to you by the Kyambogo University Mentorship Initiative under the Office of the Dean of Students, and that's how we are going to sail together. Now, in just a quick while, we shall have some opening prayer for the Lord to grace these conversations right here today. And then finally, we shall go on and have some few remarks from the people from the Office of the Dean of Students and from the Mentorship Initiative. I'm told the Dean of Students is already on call, and the University Chancellor is also already on call. They will give us some opening remarks before we dive into our presentations. So today we are talking about how do we bounce back into the academic journeys? How do we chase our goals, It has been so long. It has been, there are very many issues we've been grappling with here and there since the lockdown struck the institutions of higher learning. Some people have given up. Some people are still saying, no, we can't give up. So from today, we want to try to answer some questions so that by the time we open the institutions, our mental faculties are at bay. Our mental faculties are afloat to keep on moving. The environment is quite good. The weather is very calm and everything is quite okay. Allow me to call on any volunteer. You open your microphone and give us an opening prayer. That one I won't choose. So if you feel like you are so hurry this morning, open the microphone and try to give us an opening prayer, and then we proceed with the program this morning. Anyone? Anyone who is willing to give us an opening prayer? Probably.
Yes, I can give the opening prayer. Loving Father, we thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for this moment, Lord. We thank you for this day you have made. Lord, we are here for the good of our students. They are out there with very many questions. We thank you, Lord, for the mentorship initiative. And we are here to give guidance to our students as they come back, as we reopen. Send us the Holy Spirit to guide us during this meeting and even as our students come back. In the almighty name, we have prayed.
Amen. Someone to tell me whether I'm loud and clear.
Yes, you are, though internet is on and off.
Yes, you are.
Yes,
Thanks
you are.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. I love that. Thanks very much for that wonderful prayer, Councillor Wilfred Chosaba. And indeed, the environment is quite good. Yeah, the environment is good. The weather is cool. And I do believe that we can start from right here at this 30 minutes past 10 a.m. East African Standard Time. Allow me to take this opportunity to invite the Dean of Students to give us welcome remarks on this very, very subject. Welcome, Madam Mildred Tibananuka.
Thank you very much, moderator. Our presenters this morning, the acting senior university counselor, the counselors present, the supervisors of the mentorship initiative in the university, our beloved students of Kyambogo University. I wish to welcome you back, our beloved students, from that long break imposed by the outbreak of the coronavirus. I thank God who has protected you and kept you alive. You are coming back to complete the first semester, 2020-2021. I am aware that you are coming back with lots of challenges, dilemmas, frustrations, confusion. Some of your hostels have hiked the hostel fees, name it. During the long closure, some of you have even begun to doubt whether you are pursuing the right course or whether you should continue with it. True, your academic progression has been interrupted quite a lot. And it is human that with such interruptions, new ideas may begin to emerge in some people's minds. This presentation, organized under the initiative, the mentorship initiative, and spearheaded specifically by the Guidance and Counseling Unit, has been arranged by the unit to give you an opportunity for some guidance, exchange of ideas, and a bit of career guidance. I hope many of you are going to participate in this. I can see you have not kept time. We have very few so far with us, but I hope many will be joining in to participate in this dialogue. Even after this dialogue, I would like to urge you to make effort to discuss your challenges with someone. Because if you have a problem and keep it to yourself, it strangles you alone. But if you share it, it gets lessened. So I would like to encourage you to approach someone if you have a challenge to discuss with in the university. In the university, you're aware we have student mentors. We also have the student leadership, the guild leadership. We have the Guidance and Counseling Unit. Even your lecturers or heads of departments, my office, and any other university administrator can be approached for support if you have anything that is bothering you. I wouldn't want to dwell much on that because we have presenters that are going to handle that. However, Mr. Presenter, allow me make a few clarifications to our students as they prepare to come back to the university. A lot of discussions have been going on amongst themselves. Some of it are correct, some of it not. I would like to clarify on a few things here. I would like to inform our students that Kyambogo University tuition fees have not been reviewed at all. All the fees remain the same, but including the surcharge. I am happy that one of our presenters is coming from the Academic Registrars Department. If he gets an opportunity, maybe he could clarify on this, but I am aware that no changes have been made by the university in the area of tuition fees or function fees or whatsoever. So if any student had paid fully before the closure, they have no problem. They just should come back to study and do their examinations. However, those who had not paid should arrange to pay even before they come back to the university. I would like also to inform the few that are resident in the university halls of residence that the university, the charges for accommodation in the university halls of residence remain the same. I would also like to inform the students that on Tuesday this week, the 26th of October, 2021, we held a meeting with the hostel owners, and among other issues, we discussed the hostel rates. And I'm happy to inform our students that most of the hostel owners promised to handle our students as if they were their parents. Very many of them were sympathetic to the fact that the students are facing so many challenges. And even their parents who are supporting them here are also faced by the same challenges as the very hostel owners. So many of them have promised to be cooperative and charge the students fairly. Yes, I am aware a number of them missed the meeting, but even those where our students meet challenges, we are going to attempt as much as possible to engage those hostel owners in some form of dialogue for an amicable agreement. The university is being opened while the coronavirus is still around with us. So I would like to use this opportunity to appeal to you, our students, to continue strictly observing the SOPs. Please wear your mask correctly. move with a bottle of sanitizer and use it. It is one thing carrying a bottle of sanitizer, and it is another to using it. Carry the sanitizer and use it regularly. Alternatively, wash your hands also regularly. Hand washing points are available on campus, so make use of them. Avoid crowding. Avoid crowding. You recall that before we got the previous challenge in countrywide, the way our students were behaving here were not in observance, in serious observance of the SOPs. Yes, very many were observing the SOPs, but quite a number also were not very serious. I know you're coming back to prepare for examinations, and normally during examination periods, you have a lot of discussion groups. You handle much of your work in groups. Those should be kept as small as possible, or even avoided altogether. I would like to encourage you strongly to go and get vaccinated if you haven't been vaccinated yet. The service of vaccination is available at the University Medical Center. So please make use of it, even before we get into business next week. Many of you are already going there, but please, those who have not gone there, do reach there. As I conclude, I would like to thank and welcome our presenters this morning. Mr. Samuel Bakutana, I hope you are in the house. We would like to welcome you most warmly and thank you. And thank you so much for always coming up to, oh yes, I can also smile back to you.
Awesome.
You're welcome, Samuel. For our students who do not know, Samuel is your elder brother. He's an alumni of this great institution. And we are always overjoyed to have him back to mentor you, his young brother and sister in the institution. I would like to thank Alex Tumuhimbise from Academic Registrar's Department, who is also coming to support us and enlighten our students on various aspects of the applications which are going on. I thank the moderator, and I would like to thank Madam Chosaba Winnie for all the effort you are putting in to ensure that our students are guided, are supported, and they can be able to pursue the academic work smoothly and confidently. I thank everyone who is joining us. I would like to encourage our students to communicate to your colleagues so that they can log on and benefit from this very, very, very important discussion. I thank you, members, for listening to me. God bless you. And knowledge and skills for service for God and my country.
Thank you very much, Dean of Students, for such wonderful and parental guidance you've given us early this morning. Indeed, it's quite very beautiful to receive such powerful message to our students and everyone in the academic circles. Thanks very much. I've got some message here that some people are logging in from KIU, that's Kampala International University. And then I told them no problem. It's for all of you. You can come here and tap in wherever you feel like and feel at home. Thanks very much. Now allow me to also appreciate the supervisors of the mentorship initiative for those who have joined in. Of course, I'm already seeing some few people from some supervisors around. Thanks very much for joining in and for supervising this initiative. For the mentors who are on board, thanks very much. And for the mentees who have ever tested the mentorship initiative when you joined the university, I also appreciate you dangerously. All right, allow me to start by telling you, just like how the dean has told you, I would love to share something here so that we can kickstart our menu today. So today we are focusing, we dubbed or we named this webinar, the students webinar ahead of institutions reopening. And today our focus is going to be on bouncing back to the academic journey alongside the pandemic. You know, the pandemic is here with us, but we have to bounce back maybe like never before so that we can keep juggling here and there, grappling here and there, and then we move on. Then we shall also give some career tips, career guidance to the fresh applicants. I know they are already on call. For those who have been asking, what can I do? I have these points. Will Chambogo give me? I want to do this. Alex Tumuhimbise is going to handle that part. So today, your moderator, I'm called Kakinda Adrian Ivan. I'm a counseling psychologist from the Department of Psychology of Chambogo University, and I'm also the CEO of Adrian Careers. It's a career guidance consultancy, and that's my digits. So if you feel like you need to tap on me, feel free. There is no problem. Mr. Samuel A. Bakutana, who is going to be one of our panelists, is a CPC certified executive coach, leadership consultant, inspirational speaker, and author, CEO of Inspired Leaders International, the company or the initiative that has done very well in trying to realign and inspire other leaders. So thanks very much and well done, Mr. Samuel Bakutana, and thank you for joining this call. Indeed, it was on a short notice, but you said, no, Chambogo is my alma mater, no problem. Then Mr. Tumuhimbise Alex is the records officer in the admissions division, academic registrars department of Chambogo University. So this one is going to help us to answer questions for you, the fresh applicants. And Mr. Alex will start us off this morning. So is our panelist too this morning. And I would say welcome aboard. Corporate Mentorship Initiative Webinar Series 2021. Allow me to welcome Mr. Alex Tumuhimbise at this particular juncture to open the microphone. The floor is yours to let us know what you have for us on the menu. Welcome, Mr. Alex.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kakinda. Hope I'm loud and clear. Alex.
Yes, you're loud and clear.
Yes, Alex Tumuhimbise from Admissions Division, Office of Academic Registrar. And my presentation is basically going to be on the admission processes at Chambogo University. Maybe before that, I can give more information to our participants that Academic Registrar has 5 divisions, and one of them is admissions. We have examinations division, we have Senate division, we have extensions and affiliations division, and the 5th one is graduate school, which has been changed to Directorate of Graduate Training. So basically, those are the divisions under the Office of Academic Registrar. Now,
Mr. Alex, before you continue, you're free to share your presentation. You are now a co-host.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Adrian. Now, if I go straight to the, maybe before I go to the admission processes, our location, we are located at block 2. This is a block behind the main administration block. And offices, we have 3 offices, room 1, room 2, and room 3. So those are the offices responsible for admission of students into Chambogo University. Now, the minimum entry requirements are very crucial for anyone to be admitted at Chambogo University. I'll begin with those who want to join at the level of a bachelor's degree. The minimum requirements are basically 2. 1, a candidate should have scored at least 5 passes at O-level at the same sitting. And the second one is that a candidate should have scored at least 2 principal passes in the approved subjects at A-level. That's for the bachelor's students. Then for the diploma, A student should have scored at least one principal pass and 2 subsidiary passes in approved subjects at A level, and also should have scored at least 5 passes at O level to be able to be admitted for a diploma program at Kyambogo University. Now, we have different entry schemes to various programs, which I'm going to talk about. And they're in 2 categories. We have those who are joining at diploma level, and we have those who are joining on government scholarship, and then we also have the second group of private scholarship. So if I can begin with the ones of government, one, we have the category of national merit. These are students who are admitted on government scholarship direct from A level to different public universities, including Kyambogo University. The other one is persons with disability scheme. This one targets the persons with disability who are admitted on government to various public universities. Now, the third one is talented sports person scheme. This is another entry scheme on government for students who have performed very well in various sports disciplines. They are also given scholarships to join public universities, including Kyambogo. Then the last avenue is through diploma entry scheme. This one has both government and private, and I'm going to talk about it in detail. Now, with diploma stroke certificate entry scheme, this targets for those students who have diplomas in various fields and those who have certificates. Now, for certificate holders at this level, they are joining Kyambogo University to upgrade and attain diplomas. Then for those having diplomas, they are joining to upgrade to attain a bachelor's degree at the end of the program. So basically, those are the 2 areas that we have. And the third area is direct entry scheme on private. This targets students from A level who are joining Kyambogo University, basically on private sponsorship, meaning that they'll be paying tuition on their own or from their sponsors. And the last scheme that we have is for those teachers who want to upgrade, and we have various programs. These include Bachelor of Education Primary External. These study from different study centers of Kyambogo University, and we have very many. I'm going to list a few of them at the end. And under that scheme, still we have a Bachelor of Special Needs Education External. Is also offered at various learning centers. We also have a Diploma in Education Primary External, which is also handled in the centers affiliated to Kyambogo. And the last one is Diploma in Special Needs Education External, also for the teachers who are upgrading from the Diploma in Special Needs and they want to do the bachelor's. So those are the various schemes that we have at Kyambogo University. And maybe for those teachers who are interested in the area of Bachelor of Education Primary and Bachelor of Special Needs Education External, which are conducted in different study centers of Kyambogo University. A few of them, which I can mention, include Soloti Learning Center. We have Jinja PTC Wanyange. We have St. Noah Mawagari, Usuvizi. We have Canon Lawrence, Lodonga. We have Bushenyi Learning Center. We have Lolo, Koa PTC. We have Sancta Maria PTC in Kokonjeru, among others. So there are very many external learning centers which are affiliated to Kyambogo University, where we offer these external programs to enable our teachers to upgrade in various fields. So those are the schemes that we have at Kyambogo University. Maybe the last one is graduate entry scheme. It's for those who want to do master's degrees, postgraduate diplomas, and PhDs. That's an entry which we also have. Moderator, allow me to also talk about some of the new programs which have been approved and accredited by National Council for Higher Education, which are running in the advert that is ongoing. We have a new program called Bachelor of Cultural Heritage Studies under Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences. This is a very good program that I encourage applicants to apply for, because it is still very new and very good. And the second one is Bachelor of Fashion and Cosmetology. It's under the Faculty of Vocational Studies. It's also a very good program which has been advertised, and the advert is still running as we speak now up to the 4th of November 2021. That advert is called Direct Entry Scheme, purely private for the students who are joining from A level and they want to join Chambogo University. So basically in the admission process, those are the issues I can talk about. Another thing I can highlight is to do with registration. As we prepare for the students to come back, we expect them to register, because it's a policy that by the time you're allowed to do exams, you must have fully paid the fees and registered. So we expect that when the students come back, for those who had not registered, they will come and complete the registration process. And the registration process is in two areas. One for the fresh students who had not completed semester one. So those ones will do central registration. With central registration, we mean that you present all your academic papers, the pass slips and certificates from O level and A level. They are verified by the officers from the Office of Academic Registrar to make sure that the data you provided at the time of application matches with the documents that you're having. So in that central registration, we verify all the documents that you have, and we make sure that you're fit to join Chambogo University. Of course, you all know that Chambogo University is among the best universities in Uganda. And when we talk about Chambogo, we emphasize quality. So to join Chambogo University, you must have passed very well, and you must be ready to perform and market our institution. Then the other category to do with registration is for the continuing students. These are students in year 2, year 3, and year 4 for some programs, especially in Faculty of Engineering. These ones register themselves online. So as long as you pay your fees, full fees, you register yourself online. So you don't need to go to any office to register. Maybe for those who could be having some challenges to do with their login details, we have the Directorate of ICT, where these people can get assistance and make sure that their registration status is valid and up to date. So once you finish registering yourself as a continuing student, and also as a fresh student, once the central registration is done, you're requested to print your own examination permit, which you'll use when you're going to do the exams. So we no longer have the physical cards that we used to offer some years back. At the moment, once you're fully registered, you've met all the registration requirements, you paid all the fees. The next thing is for you to print your exam permit that you use when you're going to do your exams. Moderator, basically those are the few issues I can highlight in regards to admission and registration at Chambogo University. But before I conclude, I have to clarify on the issue of fees. It is very true. I heard from the Dean of Students, the university has not increased the fees. It has not done any revision to do with the functional fees and tuition fees for our students. So there's no need to worry. There are those who have been asking whether the fees has been increased. We have to allay those fears. The fees have not been revised. So the fees that were captured in your admission letter and the fee structure at the time of joining Chambogo University remain the same. The second issue is to encourage students when they are back to campus to observe SOPs. I believe everyone knows that you have to put on a mask, you sanitize every time you're with your colleagues, even at your hostel. So you make sure that you observe the SOPs so that we remain in a good environment. Finally, Mr. Moderator, is to inform our members, especially those who are joining for the first time to Chambogo University, that we have a new approved structure of Chambogo University, which was handled by Public Service and Chambogo University Council. And at the moment, we have 6 faculties with various departments. We also have 6 schools and 1 institute. So the university has been structured in a way that all the departments have been taken care of, and we are going to develop more and more programs to make sure that they fit in the new structure. So I encourage all the students out there, prospective students, and those who are already our students, to embrace these new changes as we move our institution to great heights. I thank you very much, Mr. Moderator, and all members, and I will stay online to get any comments or the questions from our participants, and I'll be able to respond to them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alex Tumuhimbise from the Admissions Division, Office of the Academic Registrar of Chambogo University, for that wonderful brief about admissions for the new applicants to know where exactly they need to be helped. Now, there are very many questions I'm receiving from the YouTube platform. For those who are following us from the YouTube, and for those who are following us from the Facebook pages, and for those who are on this Zoom call, one of the questions, Mr. Alex, you may start with, we government students, when are we getting our admission letters? This is from Amina. Amina is not indicating where he is sending this concern from, but Mr. Alex, you can take on that. And then another question is coming from Mr. Ketch. Do we have a master's in gender studies in Chambogo University? That one is also another question. And another question, you can add 3 at a go. What about the district quota? You've not mentioned about the district quota admissions. This is from Gladys. Alex, over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. I've picked all the 3 questions. The first one was about the government students on the issue of admission letters. It's very true that the government students on national merit have already been admitted by the Public Universities Joint Admissions Board, and we got the lists of those admitted at Chambogo University just a few weeks back. So we are working on the admission letters, and the circular is going to be released by the Office of the Academic Registrar to inform them on when to pick. They also receive notifications on their phones because they provided that biodata. The second issue of the Masters in Gender Studies, at the moment we don't have that program, but one time I was in the graduate school, and as I was inquiring about the new programs which are in the pipeline, this is one of them which is being handled at graduate board. So anytime soon this program will be approved and we shall advertise it. Then the last issue to do with district quota, it's very true. It's one of, I think I forgot to write it among the schemes for government. It's one of the entries where we get students admitted under district quota. And basically, we don't participate in this scheme. Lists are sent at the district. They verify their students, and then they send them back to Secretariat, which is at Makerere University, and then each public university is given a list of those who have been admitted there. So it's also a very good scheme. I think I missed it. Sorry. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Mr. Alex, for answering those questions. For those who are on this call, I'm currently welcoming questions for Mr. Alex when it comes to admissions, applications. For those new potential applicants, feel free, you raise your hand and let us know what your concern may be. Even if Mr. Alex is a seasoned admissions expert, so even if you are in Gulu University, even if you are in Makerere University, he may have answers for you in this case. So you feel free to just alert me that you have a question which he can answer. Someone is called Musa Matovu. He's saying is in Masaka. He's saying that, okay, I want to change a course. I was given a government course in Soroti campus of Kyambogo University. My question goes to Mr. Alex. Can I be allowed to change a course, change from Soroti to the main campus of Kyambogo University? That is the question, Mr. Alex. Is that allowed? Or can someone, if that one is allowed, which procedure would someone use to change from one campus to another campus within the same institution?
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Let me answer the question of Mr. Musa Matovu from Masaka about the change of program on government. This is a policy issue. And once you're admitted on government, you're not allowed to change the program unless if you want to change and go for private. So that one is a policy issue. Once you're given on government, you can't be allowed to change the program, to change to another program still on government. You can either change to another program, but on private. Then for the issue of the learning center, it is true we have learning centers in Soroti and Bushenyi, and we have a policy on learning centers which was approved by Kyambogo University Senate and Council. So it's flexible. It allows students to change from Soroti or Bushenyi to the main campus, and also those who want to change from the main campus to the learning centers are allowed. And the process is that you write to the academic registrar, you state the reasons as why you want to change, and you also attach evidence that you are admitted to that particular learning center or at Kyambogo main campus. And then the issue is presented to Kyambogo University Admissions Board, and you get a feedback. But the policy is flexible. It allows students to change from one center to another, or from the center to the main campus, and also from the main campus to the learning center. Thank you.
All right. Thanks very much for such wonderful redress when it comes to the students' concerns. Mr. Barikowa Nelson, you have a question. I would love people to type their questions in the chat room, but Mr. Barikowa, I think you can unmute yourself and ask your question. I've given you 30 seconds.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My question is about mature entry. I have someone who wanted to find out that I used to have mature entry, that he was worried that he has sat something like 5 years after he had completed senior 6. Can this person apply and be considered? That was my question.
All right, thanks very much for that question. Amwine, also unmute yourself and do the same.
Thank you, moderator. My question is to Mr. Alex. I want to ask, what if I'm a person with disability? For example, I'm having visual impairment and I've been admitted at the government, and I find I have the course they have given me, it is full of calculations, yet I can't manage to do the course with calculations. Can I be allowed to change or a course?
All right, thanks very much for those questions. Mr. Alex will answer that. And then Mr. Alex, as you're answering, you can also take on this. Thank you, presenter. This is coming from Claire. I have a concern about master's courses being on weekly program, which is not favorable to many applicants. Maybe it's asking why are most of the master's program on weekly days, yet very many applicants are distant. Does the admission or does the university have any arrangement to push these programs probably maybe on weekend? So those are some of the 3 questions, Mr. Alex, I would love you to answer.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Let me go straight to the first question of someone who finished so many years back, who finished A-level so many years back, and wants to join Chamberlain University. That's allowed. He can apply online, but he will be requested to also bring the hard copies to admissions office, Chamberlain University, such that at the time of admission, the data has to be, we have to check on the data from the system against the hard copies that he has submitted. So for those who finished many years back, they have an avenue they can apply, but they must submit the hard copies to Chamberlain University admissions offices for purposes of checking and proofreading the data submitted. And the second issue was from a student who talked about people with disabilities who could be having challenges, maybe visual impairment, and he was saying that if he's admitted on government, can he be allowed to change? Chamberlain University has a disability policy where we allow inclusiveness. So we are not segregative, we allow inclusiveness. And once you're admitted to a particular program, and then you find that you have challenges to manage that program, you're advised to write to the academic registrar, attach the copy of the admission letter of the program you are given, state the reasons as to why you want to change to another program, but being that it's to do with people with disabilities, this is allowed. No one can stop you from changing the program because the reasons are very clear, and it's allowed in the policy, in the disability policy. Then there is another program from someone called Claire about the master's programs. These are designed to run on weekdays and some on weekends. But once you're admitted and you approach the department, they are a bit flexible depending on the program. So once you're admitted on master's or PhD or postgraduate diploma, it's up to you to contact the department that you've been admitted to and raise your issues. So they normally do it at the departmental level, but when we're admitting, strictly it's to do with evening and day program. Because when the program is being designed, you must show the study times. Is it going to run on weekend? Is it evening or day? So once the program is very clear that it's running between day and evening, strictly that's what the admission letter reads. But the departments are flexible when it comes to the study times of teaching. Thank you very much.
All right, let me take let me take 5 questions and I close this session and then we move to the next presenter. This is coming from Irene. Private students are scared of the loan scheme deadlines vis-a-vis admission letters now that applications are still ongoing. What assurance do you give to students that they will be able to catch up with the deadline? These students who are applying for loan schemes and yet they are required to provide an admission letter which is not yet here. So what assurance, what can you comment about that, Mr. Alex?
Thank you very much, moderator. Loan scheme is a government program, and Chambo University is a public entity like any other public universities. So we are always in touch with the loan scheme. So don't get worried that our advert is still running, yet the loan scheme is about to close. We shall keep lobbying and make sure that our students don't miss out. This has been happening for the last few years when the loan scheme has been in place. So don't get worried that you miss out. Once the deadline reaches and we close applications, we shall begin the activity of selecting the students. And once they are selected, the admission letters will be issued and you'll be eligible to apply for the loan scheme. So you will not be left out. I wanted to give that assurance. Then there's the question I saw on the platform. Someone was asking about the issue of reference numbers when they're going to pay fees. So that one, ICT, in case you get challenges in generating the student numbers, we have a directorate of ICT, which will handle and address those challenges. Thank you.
All right, thanks very much for that. Let me hope that how have you handled disability admission? Give our students and those listening an overview. This is from Akim Kibedi. The question doesn't seem to be clear. I don't know whether you've picked this, Alex. How have you handled disability admissions? Or maybe because, you know, most of the government institutions and some private institutions are talking about online applications. So for our brothers and sisters who are living with disabilities, how will they manage this? Do they have a special kind of care in this regard?
Thank you very much, moderator. I think what he's meaning is about the persons with disability scheme. This is handled by Secretariat at Makerere University, where we normally send a representative from Academic Registrar's Department and also one person from the Faculty of Special Needs and Rehabilitation. They take part in the admission of those students, make sure that the issues of disability and inclusiveness are clearly addressed. And once that admission process is done, they send lists to different public universities, Chambo University inclusive, and then we generate the admission letters for those students. So that scheme has not yet taken place, but we hope the invitation will come and Chambo representatives will take part in that activity. Thank you.
Wow, thanks very much. You have very many presenters here, people appreciating you for the job well done this morning. Thanks very much, Mr. Muhimbisi Alex, for your time. Indeed, we are exceedingly humbled for such great submissions. I pray that our students have got one or few issues here answered. Let me see, let me check whether there are some questions on other platforms for those people who are following away from the Zoom call here, to see whether questions have been answered.
Mr. Moderator, there's a question I can answer quickly on the platform.
Yes.
Someone is trying to inquire about the deadline. The deadline for direct entry scheme is 4th November at midnight. That's when that scheme will close. So I encourage those who have some people want to apply, to inform them to apply on time so that they don't come at the end of the deadline and begin complaining. Then for the diploma entry scheme, that one closed last week. So officially, diploma entry scheme closed. We are only running direct entry scheme, and also the advert for graduate programs is also still running. Thank you.
Right. Thanks very much. A very big round of applause for Mr. Alex Muhimbisi for such wonderful submissions this morning. Thanks very much indeed. Yes, unless otherwise, allow me, because with interest in time, it's now 18 past 11 a.m. At this particular moment, we want to also have a conversation about bouncing back into our academic journeys vis-a-vis or regardless the existence of COVID-19 pandemic. And this pandemic has not done us very well. Indeed, we've suffered locally with this pandemic. And some of our students, have succumbed to this deadly pandemic. And, but again, life has to continue. But we know, we are cognizant of the fact that we are not mentally upright because of the anxiety and other mental health challenges we've got during this season. I know universities closed some few months ago, institutions closed. Some people don't know when even to reopen these institutions. Some people don't know. So vis-a-vis all those challenges, this is the background. We thought that our students require some recharging as they move and they need to re-energize a bit in as far as reopening is concerned. And reopening starts on Monday, 1st November, according to the previous presidential address. That one won't change with tonight's presidential address. But anyway, I'm optimistic as always have been. Allow me to welcome Coach Samuel Bakutana at this particular juncture to help us, get to know how we can bounce back. We refocus again, and then we move on. Welcome, Coach Samuel. Mr. Bakutana, are you there? Oh, okay. All right. Mr. Bakutana, are you getting me? Okay, I'll try to look for him manually. I know I'm seeing him online, but it doesn't seem to answer.
Yes, there was a technical challenge here. Hello?
Yes, we are waiting for you. Was trying to look for you here manually. Here you are.
All right, there was a technical challenge. I was also trying to talk and then I was not being heard, but I'm glad we are back together. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And how are you doing? Let me request you to post in the chat room as we start where you are and how you are feeling. So for example, you can say Kampala excited or Mbare sad. So where you are and how you feel this morning. Please just do that quickly in the chat room. Give me energy right now as we start. Everybody in the chat room, where you are and how you're feeling. Great. I can see Winfred is in Wakiso and is feeling inspired. Let me just pause and let you post in the chat room. So get them coming right now. Where you are and how you are feeling. Keep them coming. Great, keep them coming, please. Interesting. Keep them coming, keep them coming. We are quite a good number here, but I see a few. So everybody, post in the chat room. Where are you and how are you feeling this morning? Interesting. Many people, keep them coming, please. Keep them coming. I just give you 1 more minute. Wow. I'm still giving you a few more seconds for those who have not yet posted. Amazing. Amazing. Okay. I welcome all of you to this particular session. And it is my pleasure to be here with us today. Let me switch on my camera. Yes. It is my pleasure to be here, to be with you, and to share with you in this very important session that we are having right here. So good to see all of you, Winfred in Wakiso, Joyce in Kampala making progress, Gladys in Bukoto feeling great, Kachinda in Ntinda, amazed, Peace in Kampala feeling dope. I love that, Peace feeling dope, Amwine in Banda feeling wonderful, the ICT support person in Chambogo feeling great, Willie in Chireka, the Dean of Students, Mildred, busy but very good. Claire in Jinja, busy but fine. Lydia in Namamve, feeling motivated. Janet in Tinda, feeling amazing. Winfred, and there are even those who are on Facebook and those on YouTube, all of you, you're very welcome. So allow me to share my screen here so that we are able to follow together. Alan, let me kindly know if my screen is seen.
Yes, perfect.
Awesome. So it's my joy to be here this wonderful morning. My name is Samuel Bakutana. I am a certified executive coach by Coach Masters Academy, Singapore and Harvard Business School. I'm a member of the International Coach Federation. I'm a leadership consultant. I'm a speaker and I am an author of 15 books in the areas of leadership, business, education, and relationships. I am a family man. I am married to my one and beautiful, lovely wife, Charity. We have 2 children. The boy is Prosper, the girl is Petra. And I lead the team at Inspired Leaders International, a team of leaders as the Chief Executive Officer. Inspired Leaders International, we build leaders globally. And it's my joy to be here to share on this very important morning, especially myself being an OB, an alumnus of this university, Chambogo University. I was in Chambogo University a few decades ago. And I am always happy to be back home to share with either the staff or the leaders or the students, whoever at Chambogo University, my alma mater, my home. I am a proud alumnus. I am a proud old boy of Chambogo University, knowledge and skills for service. And this morning as I come to share about bouncing back, I come with a lot of joy, peace, enthusiasm, and inspiration, just like most of you have posted in the chat room. Bouncing back to the academic journey alongside the pandemic. I had a great time when I was at Chambogo University, and it is always my joy to be back. I remember when I reached at Chambogo University during the Freshers Week, the orientation week, I found many things were very different from what I had encountered when I was at high school, when I was in the secondary school. I realized that in this place, they don't have a headmaster, they have a vice chancellor. I found that in this place, they don't have a director of studies, they actually have an academic registrar. It was a week of shocks and learning. I realized there are no classrooms, they are lecture rooms. It was a difference. It was a different place. I couldn't talk of a hostel inside the university. Now I had to talk of a hall of residence. I realized we had no teachers here at the university. We had lecturers. I was not going to take a combination. I was going to study a course. We even did not have a chief warden. We actually had a dean of students. We didn't even have the head boy. We had a guild president. Things were different. So it was a moment of learning. I was very much involved. I was in the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences. And I was involved a lot in the academic world. I was involved in leadership. I was involved in the faith community. I was involved in the cultural galas. I was involved in sports, especially volleyball. I had an amazing time. That time as a leader, as a student leader, I was a deputy speaker of the Education Students Association. I was the programs coordinator of our course. Then I was the guild representative counselor for the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, representing 5,554 students in the guild government at that time. I was a member of the faculty board. I was the Minister of Academics and Professional Affairs in the guild government. I even went for guild presidency. I was at Kakumba Chapel in the KCU, Chambogo Christian Union, as the chairman of the academic board. I was in the Palisa Mission Outreach. I was in Ruka. I was in the non-residence worship team as the chairman. I enjoyed my time at Chambogo University. So every time I am invited to come back, I am so enthusiastic in coming. As a result of how I was empowered and built at Chambogo University, my life became different. I was built, I was given knowledge, I was given skills, I was given values at the University of Chambogo. When I went into the marketplace, I thrived. I have been succeeding for the last more than 10 years. You know, I've done a lot of work in different companies all over the world because of what I benefited from Chambogo University. I am now a certified executive coach. I am now a leadership consultant. I am now a speaker, a global speaker. I am an author. I have done a lot of work with British Council, with the European Union, with the United States Agency for International Development. I have done consultancy work for African Union. I've trained Grant Thornton Microlabs in India, the Japan government. I've been a consultant for the Belgium government, for Dan Church Aid South Sudan, for the Center for African Leaders in Agriculture, for Digital Opportunity Trust Canada, for Enabel, and many other entities around the world simply because of the knowledge and the skills that I gained when I was at Chambogo University. I've now empowered many people in different governments around the world, in different companies, in many different fields, in the field of finance and banking. I've done work in education, in virus research, in planning, in wildlife, in the capital markets, in health, in social security, in information and technology, in agricultural research, in insurance and education because of Chambogo University. So I am so happy to be back home and to be the one talking about the issue of bouncing back to your academic journey, even amidst the pandemic that we are encountering. And when I keep saying I enjoyed my life, what is life? I want to let you know that contrary to what many people have said, life is beautiful. Life is beautiful. You know, when many things are happening, we tend to lose the sight of the beauty of life. Life is beautiful. Life is beautiful. I want you to get to know it, regardless of how your life may be looking like, regardless of the things that you may have gone through in your own life. I want you to know that life is beautiful. And also, life is precious. It is gold. The fact that you're still alive is gold. It is precious. It is a wonderful treasure that you do have. Life is precious. It's very precious. It is that gem. It's a gift. It's a precious gift. There are many people who have died, you know, as we talk about the pandemic, COVID-19, the last 2 years have been a catastrophic pandemonium. All over the world, people have died. But if you're right here watching me, listening to me, using your phone, using your tablet, using your laptop, you're so blessed because you still are alive. What you have is precious. Life is precious. But also life is gradual. It's gradual. It is not an event. It's not an occasion. It's not a program. Life is a process. Life is a journey. Life is gradual. You take it one day at a time. So now that life is beautiful, it's very important that as a student, as a lecturer, as an administrator, as a parent, as a business person, whoever you are right now on this webinar, organized by my precious alma mater, Tambo University, you need to learn to enjoy it because it is beautiful. Life is beautiful. You need to learn to enjoy life. Enjoy life. I hope you will enjoy it responsibly. And once we say life is precious, then we need to learn to preserve it. If you have a precious thing, you don't. I remember when I was still very young, some of you may have been born in very privileged environments where you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth, eating golden eggs on platinum plates, you know. But for some of us, we were not born with that privileged background. And I remember as part of that environment, there are some things in the house that were not to be used by either everybody or not to be used all the time. Some things were to be used by a few people. Some things in the home were to be used in certain seasons. For example, you would have some clothes that you would never put on until you have a special occasion. Or you would have a certain utensil in the house that was only reserved for guests, for visitors. So if you can take that analogy as like life, you need to learn to know that it is a precious gift you have in this season, and you need to preserve it well because you can easily lose it. You know, and life being gradual, therefore, means that we need to learn to be patient with it. You know, one of the big challenges that many young people have, not only young people, by the way, but also the adults, also, you know, senior citizens, is that we want to push life to get out of life more than it can ever because of impatience.
After investigation, we realize
because of impatience.
From the
Life is gradual. Life is gradual, and you can't push it beyond its limits. You need to learn to be patient and take it one day at a time. But here is a question. Is life a bed of roses? Post in the chat room either a yes or no. Is life a bed of roses? Post in the chat room a yes or a no. Let me stop the sharing and read your messages. Is life a bed of roses? Yes or no? Please post in the chat room. Let me see what you put there. Is life a bed of roses? Just say yes or no. Get them coming. Everybody put your answer there. Is life a bed of roses? Yes or no? I would like to have as many answers as possible, as many answers as possible. I so far have about 10 or 12. I would like to have as many answers as possible, as many of you as possible. The question is life a bed of roses or not? And I'm going to give this some time. I'm going to give this close to a whole minute of your answers. Is life a bed of roses or not? Post there your first answer in your mind. You don't have to overthink it. I see them coming. I see them coming. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Simple question. Is life a bed of roses or not? I see some people are starting to post some cheeky answers. Interesting answers. Is life a bed of roses or not? Okay, let me take it on from there. I can see majority are saying no, very many no's. No. Even Irene says, of course not. And Chandia says, yes, it is, because it is a chance given to everyone. It's a chance. Amwina is confused. And Joyce says yes, but majority are saying no. I want to give you my own understanding of this. I would like to propose to you that yes, life is a bed of roses. This could be a shock to you because majority of you are saying no, life is not a bed of roses. But you see, that's where my point is. How do we understand roses? Many times whenever we think of roses, we only think of the petals. We think of the beautiful flower. We think of either a red rose or whatever. A few days ago, 3 days ago, I was going home after a long day's work, and I went home with a bouquet of roses for my beautiful wife. There were some red roses, there were some pink roses, and some white roses, all put together in a bouquet of flowers for my beautiful wife. But flowers, those roses do not only have the flowers or the petals. We always forget that they also have thorns. They have thorns. So life, I want to propose that life is a bed of roses. A bed of roses because roses have both flowers and also thorns. So life being beautiful, life being precious, and life being gradual. In its preciousness, if that word ever exists, in its beauty, it doesn't mean that it is only petals. Doesn't mean that it is only flowers, but it also has some thorns. And now in this season we are in, I think it is the season of thorns. We have had many thorns. COVID-19 has been a thorn in the beautiful rose flower of life. And so I want to give us some important tips that are going to help you to bounce back if you're going to start to have a mind shift from just looking at life as a thorn and knowing that it is a rose, and on that rose, they are thorns. So somebody will look at that flower and say, oh no. Can you imagine this rose flower has thorns? And another person will look at it and say, can you imagine that while there are these thorns, in the midst of all these thorns, there is a beautiful rose flower? So as you come back, as you return to the university, I want to invite you to have a different mindset. A different mindset of looking at the positivity of life, of looking at the precious things that you still have as you come to the university. Universities are opening. Just next month, in the next few days, Chambogo is open, and a number of many other universities, but specifically my precious golden alma mater, Chambogo University, is opening, and a number of you are coming. You need to come with a different mindset. You have been at home, not knowing what exactly is going to happen, not knowing what next. You've been downcast, you've been depressed, you've been disillusioned, you've been even diseased, some of you. You've been disappointed, you've been discouraged. All those are the thorns. It is time to bounce back from the thorn mindset to the rose flower mindset and know that not all is lost. So I want to give us some quick bouncing back tips. And then I will be coming to the close. So number one, in this season, as you return to the university, you need to focus on the prize, not on the price. Many times as young people, we tend to focus a lot on the price that we have to pay. So you see the 3 years that lie ahead of you. You see the 1 full year you still have. You know, you look at, you were supposed to be done last year, but now you have to continue and study for 1 more year. So you're looking at the price and you feel the price is so high. The cost is so high. And so you feel disappointed, discouraged, and disillusioned. I would like you, if you're going to bounce back powerfully, I would like you to focus on the prize. Once you have gone through this course, what are you going to get? You're going to get that diploma. You're going to get that degree. You're going to get that job. You're going to change that life. You're going to empower people. You're going to get richer. You're going to, focus on the prize. Don't keep focusing basically on the price, and you lose the focus of the price. There is a prize ahead of you. People who bounce back keep their eyes focused on what they are going to gain at the end of the journey. Please focus on the prize. And secondly, I would like you to embrace collaboration, not competition. As you get to the university, whether you are coming for your first semester as a first-year student, or you are continuing your studies after some time of being away, and you're now coming back to the university in your second year, in your third year, I would like you to know that if you're going to bounce back powerfully and succeed excellently, you need to focus on collaboration, not competition. And this may mean that you need to work together with other fellow students. You need to be in discussion groups and work together. This season is already tough enough. You don't need to make things harder for yourself by working alone and alone. It is time for collaborative learning. It is time for, team mindset. It is time for you to work with others, ask questions, learn with others, collaborate, don't compete. If you are to compete, compete with yourself. In other words, are you better today than you were yesterday? Let the you of yesterday or the you of today compete with the you of yesterday instead of competing with other people. Compete with yourself, collaborate with everybody else. That will position you powerfully to bounce back excellently. But also, it's important that you are willing to pay the price of success. Yes, we are saying focus on the prize, not on the price. But don't forget there is a price to pay. The price of greatness is responsibility. The price of success is hard work. The price, of having a better life is maturity, embracing maturity. There is a price to everything. The price of a bunch of a banana is paying some money. You can't go to a supermarket and you just get any product you want and move away. There is always a price to everything. There is a price of a good relationship. There is a price of a good marriage. There is a price of a good degree. There is a price of a healthy life. There is a price of success. There is a price of laying your hands on your destiny. There is a price of securing your own future. Everything has a price. And so you should be willing to pay the price of success as you come back, so that you bounce back with the readiness, with the commitment, with the determination, with the devotion, with the readiness, the preparation to make it work at all costs. Be willing to pay the price. And number 4, don't make long-term decisions to short-term challenges. As you come back to the university, you're going to be facing a number of challenges, definitely, whether they have something to do with the tuition or they have something to do with those landlords that Madame Mildred was talking about, who own the hostels, whether it has to do with the, whatever it is, whether it is even relationships. By the way, when I was at Chambogo University, I was checked. I was checked by a lady. So whether you're going to face challenges with relationships, don't make long-term decisions over short-term challenges. Make short-term decisions over short-term challenges. Make long-term enduring decisions over long-term matters. Don't major in the minors and minor in the majors. It's time for you to major in the major fields and minor in the minor fields. Don't be a jack of all trades, being everywhere, empty and everywhere you go. No, know what to focus on and give it your utmost best. You know, give it your utmost, give it your best. Bounce back. Let me remove this sharing and just address a few more things directly to you. As you are getting back, if you're going to bounce back, I know this, I want you to pay really close attention. One of the biggest things that keeps many university students down is comparison. There is no way how you're going to bounce back if you're busy comparing yourself with everybody else. I thought I needed to address this to you directly without the PowerPoints and so on and so forth. You need to know that it is your own life, it is your own studies, it is your own future. At the university, you will meet the tall and the short, you will meet the big and the small, you will meet the rich and the poor, you will meet the black and the white, you will meet all manner of people, you will meet the old and the young, the brown and the black. You will meet the serious and the unserious. You better be careful not to compare yourself with others, but as you are coming back, come as you, as yourself, and do your stuff with all determination imaginable. At the end of the day, you will walk out of the university as yourself. I remember we had a number of people when I was at Chambogo University many years ago, oh my, who had their own kind of life. But I remember a number of them didn't manage to even graduate because of the choices they were making. The choices they were making. I hope you will be able to manage your emotions. Manage your emotions. That will help you to bounce back powerfully. And there is this song we often sing that says, count your blessings and name them one by one. I hope you will be able to know that there are many different blessings that the Almighty has put in your life. And once you choose to count your blessings every day, you will be able to bounce back in power. So let me conclude it this way, that you need to build your studies going forward on 3 actions. Number 1, discover, pursue, and persist in your purpose. As you go forward, people who bounce back because they are focused on their purpose. They are focused on a bigger reason. They are focused on the why of their life and their studies. I would like you to be a purpose-driven student. I would like you to come back ready to focus on the big picture. Discover your purpose, pursue it, and persist in it. And get to identify your gifts and your talents. Because as you now come back to the university, they are going to be giving you knowledge and skills for service. But you need to know that the knowledge and the skills you are being given are to help you identify, develop, and deploy your own natural abilities, your own natural endowments, your own talents and gifts. A man's gift will create room for him or her and seat him with great men. So I hope as you study engineering, as you study education, as you study special needs education, as you study fine art, as you study business management, management science, you will also discover your own talents and gifts and develop them, deploy them as you study. This thing helped me so much. When I was at Chambogo University, I maximized my abilities, my talents, my skills. that by the time I went into the marketplace after graduation, by the time of graduation, I was already having a lot of things to do just with my skills, with my talents and gifts. So do that as you're bouncing back. And remember to acquire, to package and present transferable skills. Chambogo gives a lot of knowledge. Chambogo gives a lot of skills. I hope as you study the technical skills, you will be able to also get to acquire the soft skills, the transferable skills that I talked about at the start. You know, skills in relating with others, skills in leadership, you know, communication and public speaking abilities, and so on and so forth. So in conclusion, you are a tennis ball. You are not an egg. You are not an egg. You know, an egg, when you hit it down, it breaks and disintegrates. But the tennis ball, when you hit it down, it bounces back. And the harder you hit it down, the higher it bounces back. If you have been hit down by whatever it is, hit down by the by the pandemic season, hit down by any kind of challenge, whatever it is, you are a tennis ball, bounce back. You are a tennis ball. You are not an egg. So I want to believe that there are tennis balls in this on this webinar today who are going to bounce back seriously. When you look at yourself, don't look at yourself as a cat. Look at yourself as a lion. You are a great person. You are worthy of medals and all manner of successes and trophies. So I wish you well as you bounce back. Just know that you are not an egg. You are a tennis ball. Keep telling yourself that I am not an egg. I am a tennis ball. Once I'm hit down, I don't break. I bounce back. And once you do that, you will realize that a lot of progress will be possible. A lot of success will be possible. A lot of productivity will be possible. And you and I will meet at the top. So thank you very much for paying attention. And I hope this has been helpful to you. Back to you, Adrian.
Thanks very much, Mr. Samuel Bakutana, for such powerful, hilarious, and indeed intriguing conversation and presentation you've given us this morning. You know, as you were talking, I was holding my chair. I felt like I was in the skies over there, felt the energy. I felt like, wow, even my morning, you know, had some shabby stuff. I felt energized. I hope other people on this call are feeling the same. I don't know anyway, but it was indeed a very, very powerful kind of presentation, especially that last bit. You know, when you say that I'm a tennis ball, not an egg, I was asking myself, really? Oh my God. Some people don't know. Some people think they're eggs. When they go down, they don't bounce. So that was quite timely and awesome. All right. We have only 4 minutes to the top of the hour of midday, of noon. Indeed, there are some presentaries coming to you, Mr. Samuel, from the Dean of Students. This is a very good dialogue. I have enjoyed every bit of it. I must leave now to attend to other commitments. Thank you very much and be blessed. Yes, we appreciate your time, Madam Mildred Bananuka, off your busy schedule, and you said, okay, you know, is our mother in Chambogo University, and she has lots of children to mother. So thanks very much, Madam Mildred, for such a wonderful time you've given us. Thanks, Obi. You have not left any stone unturned. That is from Technomobile. I know she forgot, or he forgot to name his account, but I'm seeing Technomobile giving quite wonderful presentaries to Mr. Bakutana. True, like Jesus, we should focus on the prize, not the prize. That is from Gladys Ananula. D, someone is called D, as in D-double-E. Thank you so much. This was really a game in GEM. I love the vocabulary right on this platform. It's quite amazing. All right. One question of the YouTube here to Mr. Samuel. Is asking that for someone who has lost his two parents and feel like he would love to resume the academics, and the people around him react as if he is overreacting about the loss of the parents. And now this one has led him to sideline himself from the social life. What's your take? Oh, well, how can we help this person? This is from Naruyange Jovia.
Thank you very much, Jovia. When I was one day, it was a Monday morning, very early morning, and I was in primary 7. It was a day 1 of the first term. It was on a 24th day of a certain February, more than quite a long time ago. I was on my journey going to school, first day of the school. When I reached at school like this, and I had entered the classroom, somebody came and knocked on the door and said, "We are looking for Samuel." So I moved out of the classroom, P7, first day in P7. They took me on the side and told me that my father had just died. P7, I was just making 12 years of age. And that started quite a tough journey of my own life. I struggled with school fees. I struggled with scholastic materials. I struggled with many things. My life was quite a tumultuous journey as I was growing up. To cut the long story short, here I am today doing the things that I am doing. I would like to first address you. You who says you have lost your father, you have lost your mother. One thing you need to know is that that does not make it the end of your life. It is unfortunate, it is a pity, it is sad that you have lost your parents. But now that you still have life yourself, I want to call you forth out of your isolation, especially a kind of isolation where you have been pushed .
Oh, have we? I think we've lost Mr. Samuel. All right, this is unfortunate. Probably, maybe you'll have to Mr. Samuel, are you there?
To yourself in your own mind, disappointing yourself,
Wow.
and therefore
Samuel, we missed something. I think your network went off.
All right. That was anyway. That was Mr. Samuel. We lost you a bit somewhere. Yes, I lost you some 20 seconds ago.
sorry, let me just conclude it. It was internet I had gone off. Let me just conclude it. So you may have lost your parent. That's all right. But what matters most is what you're telling yourself at this moment. What matters most is the way you are thinking about the situation you are in. It's very critical that you indeed bounce back, like I have been talking about the topic of today. Bounce back, refocus, get back into the community, Sometimes you just need to keep a deaf ear to whatever other people are saying and keep moving, focused on what you want to achieve in your own life. Where you need help, seek help. If there are some therapy issues that you are facing, psychosocial support that you need, please find help. Find help. Find a counselor. We have counselors here. We have Winfred and the whole counseling department at Chambogo University. Find help. Let them share with you and help you go through this this season. But just get to know that it is not the end of your life. A lot is still possible for you. Bounce back the way I managed to bounce back and walk on through life. And right now, even when my father died when I was in primary school, I got my degree from Chambogo University. I got my certification in coaching from Harvard Business School and from Coach Masters Academy in Singapore. I got a Masters of Arts in Organizational Leadership and Management from Development Associates International and Uganda Christian University. I got a postgraduate in Administration and Management from the African Population Institute. I mean, that is the other person who lost the parent. So losing your parent doesn't mean that that's the end of your life. You can still study, you can find fees, you can progress, and your life can be successful. Turn it around. Bounce back and keep moving.
All right. Thanks very much for that wonderful address. I think you should come back at campus and give us a piece of advice because we really need nice words like these. This is coming from Amwine. And Priyamutunga Willie, thanks, Mr. Samuel. You have made me to regain energy because 2016, I was fought by the devil not to proceed with my education journey. But after the lockdown in May, I had resumed. Again, the lockdown came. I've been thinking to quit studies, but now I have regained hope. My Samuel, be blessed. That is from Tuliamutunga Willie with quite a world-class, $1 million presentry. Over to you, Mr. Bakutana. Well, I know Mr. Bakutana is having other obligations to execute today. We grabbed him for these 2 hours, 10 to midday. And I would love to close off this webinar this morning. I'd love to appreciate the mentorship initiative of Chambogo University, the supervisors, my co-organizer, that's Gloria. Thanks very much, Gloria Akech. Thanks very much for this wonderful webinar, the mentors and the mentees, and all the people under the office of the Dean of Students, and above all the panelists, Alex Tumuhimbise and Samuel Bakutana. Thanks very much for that wonderful time. I think, Mr. Alex, I'll give you 30 seconds to say your closing remarks, and then I'll give 30 seconds to Mr. Bakutana to say his closing remarks, and we shall have a closing prayer, and we call it a day. Alex, it's your turn.
Yes, thank you, presenter. My closing remarks in form of a reminder to all the applicants that the deadline for the direct entry scheme is 4th November at midnight. So this is to remind you to make sure that you submit your applications on time and avoid getting late. Then finally is to welcome back our students who are reporting anytime from now that Chambogo University is still there, though we had the pandemic, but we are still okay. And we shall be glad to receive you. We shall offer quality services and make sure that as you're there, you market our institution, we get more students, and we shall give you all that you deserve. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks very much. Send us regards to the academic registrar and all the people in that department. Yes, Mr. Samuel, your closing remarks.
Thank you very much. For me, my remarks, what I started with, know that life is beautiful, life is precious, life is gradual, and life being beautiful, Let's go and enjoy it responsibly. Life being precious, let us go and learn how to preserve it. Avoid the enemies of your existence and the enemies of your productivity. And life being gradual, let's learn to be patient with it. A lot will happen with time. So thank you for the opportunity.
All right, thanks very much. We shall have further deliberations with Mr. Samuel Bakutana and Mr. Alex Tumhimbise on various forums. This is just the beginning. Indeed, we're just obliged. I would ask one volunteer to say a closing prayer. Yeah, a closing prayer. Oh, of course, the conversations are still continuing in the chat room. Someone is debating with Mr. Samuel that, what is the choice? Because I love studies and also my business that brings me some part of tuition. Without a job, no tuition. So someone, okay. Chandia, you can say a closing prayer for us.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's humble ourselves and pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, one afternoon, this great morning that we have had, one thank you for the different moderators that have given us words of wisdom. Thank you so much for the gift of life that you have given to all of us, both the mentors, the mentees, the counselors, all the organizers at Kyambogo University, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, as we are going to bounce back, as the webinar has been, as we are going to bounce back, King of Kings, provide us with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding for those who don't have tuition, and let all your will be done. For those who are going for their other works, King of Kings, bless them, because you said in your word that we shall be you became poor for us to become rich. King of Kings, Lord of Lords, when all is done, glory and honor shall turn back to you. In Jesus' name I have prayed. And everybody says amen.
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 Amen. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you, everybody.
But excuse me, Councillor Whitney.
Yes, please.
Councillor Whitney, I remember telling you about how we can solve this problem of our comrades, these people with disabilities, especially those who are deaf.
I posted in the chat that due to unavoidable circumstances, we did not manage. I am talking from Mulawa right now, and we failed to connect very well. Sorry about it. Our apologies were sent.
All right. Thanks very much from here and everyone on this call. Have a wonderful afternoon and a wonderful day.
Good afternoon too. Have a nice day too.
Thank you, moderator, and everybody, the supervisors, counselors. God bless you.
Bye.
God bless you.
Irene, bye.
Bye. Hey, Nicholas.
Yeah.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi.
Hi.
Some people are entering as we close.
Sorry to them, please. I can imagine.
Yes.
Nicholas.